Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Sash, and this is the complimentary video to the Captain Marvel Unmasked Carol Danvers video that I uploaded a couple days ago. This is the drawing tutorial. We're doing this one in Autodesk Sketchbook again, so if you have this app, highly recommend it. The first step here in stage 1, we're going to draw out a very rough version of the character. So as you can see on screen, I'm using the pencil tool, and I am just proportioning the face really quickly. You'll notice I start out with a very basic circle. I get the line of symmetry, which is the vertical line down the face, and then the eye line, which is the horizontal line across the face. That helps me divide the face. As you can see, I'm just roughly putting in the basic shapes right now. The hair, I've got this really kind of flowy look to it, as if she's in motion. She's also technically facing the left side, and her body is sort of tilted more towards that way, and her face is kind of more frontal here. The second part to the drawing is the kind of details. So you'll notice that I'm going over some of the pencils now, just doing those details and putting in the areas that I think I'd like to include in the final iteration of the drawing. As you can see, I'm putting in more details for the costume as well. Got that famous star on her chest, as well as some of the details in her collar and stuff like that. Band that goes across her chest on the costume. Yeah, and that's basically going to give us the idea of what the final image is going to look like. A kind of very free-flowing style here. As soon as you're done with that, we'll move on to the second phase, which is the inking phase. You'll want to do this on a new layer if you're using the app as well. And what I recommend doing is going over the most important details, kind of like how we did in the Broly example last week. Here we'll go over the most important details using the black pen. You'll notice later on what I do with the black pen, so make sure you pay attention to that. Now again, the black pen is mostly just a guide, so think of the black pen as the lines that you would normally see on a coloring book, where you're going to be coloring in between the lines. This is also going to, this is what it looks like without the pencils. Remember, you're going to want to set this to multiply, then create a new layer and drag it underneath, as you can see, and we'll begin the color work. This is phase 3 of the drawing, which is the flat colors. And what you'll notice is that I am using the selection tool, which is on the top menu, so keep an eye out for that. On the top menu there, I'm just selecting the basic parts of her face where I'd like the highlights and the shadows to go. So right now I'm doing her face. As you can see, you've got some shadows on her eye. The whole suit, I start out by masking out the red, and then I separate the colors into that goldish section as well as the bluish section. Unfortunately, I think I made a mistake here with the flat color on the bottom part of her torso, but I'll go ahead and fix that later on. Right now I'm just adding a few more highlights with slightly different colors, so try to follow along. You are able to pause this and kind of get a reference for what those colors are. Again, this is a very rough kind of layout of color here. This is by no means the final image, and it is also going to be significantly more complicated than the Broly image, but at the same time I'm hoping that it kind of gives you guys a slightly more advanced challenge here. Just adding a few more colors, and finally we're in the last stage. I'm going to duplicate the color layer, and this is what it looks like when we use something called a smudge tool. So I'm just going to go ahead and show what that duplicate layer looks like. This is our goal. We're using this tool called the smudge tool. Now if you're doing this by hand, you can obviously use a blending stick. This is the first stage on screen right now, second stage, third stage, and final stage. Like I said, in the final stage you want to just make sure that you are just softening some of those lines. Anyways, hope that you guys enjoyed that. Feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you like this. Don't forget to share it with your friends. Till next time, bye bye.